Ladies and gentlemen, the video today is going to be slightly different. We appeal to you. You don't always have to agree with what we say. You don't always have to like us. You don't always have to even agree with us. But today we're going to just have Ramon and I are going to have an actual, genuine, heart-to-heart conversation, one-on-one, about a topic that is now dear to everybody, and that is the topic of Eskom. Over 2022, Ramon and I did many videos over Eskom. Some of them we made fun of it. Some of them we looked at all the ways they were going to somehow solve it. And some of those videos did great. But the situation with Eskom is now in such a state that it threatens the civil order in South Africa. Anarchy is on the horizon because of the situation with Eskom. We've seen today reports that wildlife, stocks, crops are all failing because they're unable to get any form of electricity in order to provide for the food security of the country. The situation at Eskom is now dire. So there's a couple of things, Ramon. The first thing I want to mention to you is something that we were talking about earlier. As everybody may know, the DA is calling on a strike to Luthuli House. They want to go to Luthuli House and they want to cause an action there. The ANC and the EFF have all been very vocal on Twitter saying that why are you going there? You should go to the Union building. And the first thing that we would like to draw everybody's attention to is that the ANC themselves said in a recent article that they will be responsible for appointing the next CEOs of Eskom, which means that the problems currently at Eskom originates with the ANC by their own definition. And so this is the first example that we are seeing of the ANC attempting to distance itself from the problems that it itself has created.
So I think for the context, load shedding is not just load shedding. So people have accused us of being flippant, but we said just mock a plan, mensa, like load shedding is here to stay. And we weren't trying to be flippant. We actually made recommendations in a video that this is for small and medium enterprises and for residential areas. We're not talking about farmers, we're not talking about factories and things like that. But at the heart of it, Eskom is the thing that's going to kill the ANC. And the ANC are absolutely shitting themselves, and Eskom is the laxative. Because, as we well know, the political parties are going to march to Luthuli House, especially the DA. Lawyers have drafted a letter to Pravin Gordhan and the finance minister and the president saying that they want to take a class action lawsuit against the ANC and Eskom and the government because Eskom is not fulfilling its constitutional mandate. In the constitution, the right to electricity is a basic human right. Eskom is not doing that either. So after years of pissing about and then maybe going with the greenies and maybe doing this and maybe doing this, ANC has nowhere to go. And it is absolutely shitting itself because they know that they are responsible for Eskom failing, and number two, that it is going to kill them. And all this pressure is bouncing around them politically, socially, economically, that it is extremely difficult for them to find a way out of this.
Yeah, the difficulty is starting to become that the ANC are now trying to act as if they're the official opposition. And you have to look at the reason or the rationale why they're doing that. Trying to act as the official opposition so that what they can basically say is that the mess isn't ours because we're not in charge. And you've had the president saying things like, and we've recently seen it in the news, where he says, my hands are tied. His hands are tied for what? He's the president of the country. He's the one who ultimately signs all the orders. He's the one who appoints the cabinets. These very cabinets that are responsible ultimately for cadre deployment within Eskom. The president himself sat on the emergency board whilst he was the deputy president underneath Jacob Zuma. He cannot distance himself from the mess that he has now created. Everything that we're seeing is that the ANC is like, right, we are now going to also march on Eskom and demand answers. The ANC have been in parliament today calling for all senior managers within Eskom to come to parliament and account. And the ANC seems to be acting as if they're actually the DA. And my answer or my commentary to that is if the ANC wants to be the official opposition, resign. Allow a unitary government to take place. Allow a government that has a plan to come in place and take us forward to 2024. Alternatively, if you still feel that you have the ability to govern, resign and call an early election, which we all know they'll lose. But at the end of the day, what the ANC cannot do to the rest of us is to pretend that this is a mess not of their making. And so the serious nature of this video is this. You, dear viewer, have an obligation to remind every person who you can speak to, this is the ANC's mess. The ANC caused it. The ANC was not a victim in this. They were the victimizer.
And you can see that through the various actions people are taking, right? The DA marching to Luthuli House is a perfect example. Luthuli House is the cause of the problem. What's the point in marching to Eskom? Nothing. Eskom doesn't exist by itself. It exists within the framework of the government controlled by the ANC. So the ANC is responsible for it. Look at the letter of demand by those esteemed lawyers that no one's ever heard of, right? Who does it cite? The president, the ANC, the cabinet, who are all ANC members. All the actions against this crisis are against the ANC. And now the ANC are trying to sort of join the crowd that's against load shedding, but no one's really buying it, Byron, let's be honest.
No, and the only people that will be buying it will be those loyal voters. We're even seeing on Twitter some of the ANC cadres now coming out and issuing tweets like, at the next election, my whole family will still vote for the ANC. And they're trying to see, like, almost garner support. Like, okay, yeah, we're all going to vote for the ANC too. But that's not the commentary that people are seeing. They're all like, no, we'll never vote for you ever. You guys are a bunch of thieves. And let's not forget that it was the ANC's thievery that caused the problems in the first place. And with that being said, we cannot divorce the problems that the EFF have caused along the way. And the EFF, their commentary was, hey, you need to go to the Union Building and not Luthuli House. Luthuli House will be defended. And for me personally, Ramon, I hope Luthuli House is defended. I hope the nation gets to see who the thugs are that are there at the forefront, denying them their basic constitutional rights, so that everybody can see exactly who the ANC are.
Well, I mean, I hope the EFF are there because I will actually be at that particular march. I'm going to be a citizen journalist and I'm going to be filming the entire thing. So in the comments down below, let me know, must I bring a medikit, a bulletproof vest, or a Molotov cocktail? I would love to know your thoughts. But as we said a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching Morning Shot for a while, none of this should surprise you in the slightest. Eskom is the Chernobyl of South Africa. Chernobyl ended the Soviet Union, along with a variety of other factors. Eskom is going to end the ANC. I saw the finance minister has come out and he said in 12 months there will be no load shedding whatsoever. I think we heard that in 2013, 2015, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. Anyway, we could go on. We heard that a dozen times from the very same people who say they're going to end it. So of course it's not going to end whatsoever. We have created a brand new insurance brokerage called, funny enough, Morning Shot Insurance Brokers. So if you're interested in saving money on insurance, number one, but most importantly, having a Zoom with me and my wonderful face, why not send me your insurance schedule to ramon@morningshot.co.za? Let's chat. Maybe we can help each other save money and deliver superior service, because that's what we're all about here at Morning Shot.
At the end of the day, what the ANC is attempting to do, if you listen to the lamestream media, the legacy media, all you see at the moment is you see articles about racism and apartheid and Ramaphosa's private prosecution against Jacob Zuma. They are all attempting to deflect from the calamity that will engulf South Africa. They seem to think that the calamity that is coming our way is not of their making and that the people will be forgiving. I don't think the people will be forgiving. It may be time to pull out our guillotines and dust them off.